Today, in the era of the conflict of civilizations, at a dramatic moment in history, when the traditional world is confronted by the inhumane ideology of posthumanism, many people are raising the question of how to reach a consensus among the world's elites, how to unite in protecting our planet. This agenda is the most relevant in world politics, and Russian philosopher Sergei Dvorianov offers his unique methodology for achieving these important goals.
Hello and welcome. I am Thomas Porteous and you're watching The World Report. Russia says its forces have repelled a new Ukrainian offensive in the western Kursk region. The attack comes 6 months after Ukraine's surprise cross-border assault, the biggest on Russian soil since World War II. Moscow claims Kiev launched multiple waves of attacks using troops and armoured vehicles. Meanwhile, Ukraine has offered a humanitarian corridor for Russian civilians trapped in the seized border areas. Kiev says over 1,500 civilians remain in these regions and accuses Russia of neglecting its own people. The Kremlin has yet to respond to the offer.
Doctor of Philosophy Sergei Dvorianov is an ambassador for peace, Universal Peace Federation, United Nations, President of the International Diplomatic Club Amicability, Vice President of the Worldwide Alliance Peacemaker, expert of the Russian-American Friendship Society, Director of Communications BCMF, BRICS Culture Media Forum.
Dr. Sergei Dvorianov, Moscow claims to have repelled at least 8 waves of Ukrainian attacks in the Kursk region. From Russia's perspective, what does this escalation signal about Ukraine's military strategy? And how is Russia prepared for further incursions?
Well, thank you for your question. Namaskar. The main problem now in Ukraine is the lack of a legitimate, popularly elected president. It is obvious to all sensible people that a turning point has come at the front of Russian-Ukrainian front in favor of Russia. Mr. Zelensky's statement to form a humanitarian corridor in Kursk region is another attempt to attract public attention to Ukraine. His desire is very childish. In my opinion, there is only one way to overcome the humanitarian crisis in Ukraine. It is necessary to officially announce the date of election for a new president and provide political freedom to all parties, including the leaders of those parties that speak Russian language. And in this case, at least we'll have some personality who can officially put signature to the peacemaking agreement. That is my opinion.
Why has Russia remained silent on this proposal, and does Russia see any obligation to assist these civilians?
The conflict with Ukraine is a conflict of civilization. Obviously, it's a catastrophe. This conflict was very well organized and prepared last 20 years. And brainwash which was done with Ukrainian population finally take all of us when we have right now war between not only two neighbor nations, but between brother nations. Of course, our national leader Vladimir Putin, he is take care about the civilians. That's why all our activity in front, we do all our steps very carefully. We always take care about all civilians, not only in the Russian side, also in Ukrainian side. It always confirmed that Russia take care about all population. In Ukraine, both, because it's our brother nation. Again and again, I want to say this. And definitely, we should make something with a new elected president, and that is only one way to finish this humanitarian crisis in Ukraine. See, what I want to say right for the new generation of new political leaders. who can take responsibility for the future of their nation. Look, for example, right now I'm in Jagannath Puri. It's a very ancient city in the India, Bharatavarsha. That is the city of Lord Jagannath, who is himself Lord of all universe. And I try my level best to pray for peace and dedicate myself to the opportunity to make some real proper peacemaking agreement between Ukraine and Russia. But it should be on the conditions which are not against humanity. That is most important right now. And I'm looking forward that new leader of Ukraine will appear very soon on political stage. And then we can start officially negotiate with peace.
According to philosopher Sergei Dvorianov, there is only one way to achieve peace in Ukraine. First of all, it is urgently necessary to hold fair democratic elections, according to the constitution of this country, in order for a legitimate, responsible president to take office who will receive the support of his people. After that, it is possible to launch the process of peacemaking based on the observance of basic humanistic principles, the inadmissibility and complete prohibition of fascism, the neutral status of Ukraine with the inadmissibility of joining NATO, and finally the return of the ancestral Russian territories to Russia, based on the choice of the people.